This is a quick demo of my Superworm farm, mini farm. This is my SquirmStack. I actually have an extra worm tray here on mine just because I have access to additional trays, and I like to separate my stages a little more. This top bin is the beetle bin. This has a perforated bottom. It's very similar to the perforation on the top lid. Provides lots of ventilation for the beetles within. This is the Superworm beetles right here. You can see got lots of them here. They love to hang out on this corrugated cardboard, on this egg cart. The corrugated cardboard is usually where they lay their eggs. So you can take a look. They're usually hanging out on these, laying eggs. I just put these in this morning. We could see if we've got any eggs in these yet. Oh yeah, we actually, I don't know if you can see that. Right there, we got fresh eggs laid right there. So usually what I do with the fresh eggs is I'll move them to the nursery bin. The nursery worm bin is actually right below the beetle bin. And the reason why, I'm gonna slide that out. I'm gonna put this cardboard that doesn't have any eggs back here in with the beetles. I'm gonna put my beetles back in and keep them happy. And let these guys sit there for a minute while I show you the rest of the SquirmStack. So the tray directly below the beetle bin is the first worm tray. I call it the nursery tray. Reason why is here's the really tiny little baby worms that are just hatching. I also move a lot of corrugated cardboard down here that have eggs. Move them down there until the eggs hatch, and then I often will move the corrugated cardboard back to the beetle bin so they can continue laying eggs again. I reuse this all the time. You can see some the condition of some of these. You see a baby worm right there. There's even smaller baby worms in this, teeny tiny ones. You could take a look and see them. That is not a teeny tiny one. There's really tiny baby worms that are in this. Some are so small you really can't see them. They're just hatched, but this is where the baby worms are, and they grow here. There's a teeny tiny baby one. I don't know if you could see that. Really, really small worms. They live here in this nursery tray until they are large enough to sift. And then what I'll often do when I start seeing good sized worms is I'll take all these guys and I'll just dump them right into this next tray. This is my tray that I keep the juvenile worms in, and you can see they're decent sized worms here. They're certainly not full grown. I don't really harvest from this unless I have this specific need for worms that are this size. These are small worms, juvenile worms. I'm letting them grow out here. I've got a couple big guys that just are a little older in this worm bin, but mostly these are my juveniles. Insert in here is the sifting insert, and how you work the sifting insert is you just slide it up slightly like this in the worm bin and just give it a little shake like this. And what it's doing is separating the frass or the worm excrement from this fresh wheat bran that is food for the worms. So I give it a shake like this, and there's not going to be a ton of frass because I have recently cleaned these out, but the frass is below, and you can just dump that in the garden. That is that tier. This bottom tier worm bin is where I keep my full grown worms. So these are the big guys. This is where I harvest from. If I need to populate my beetles with fresh beetles or new younger beetles, I'll pull big fat juicy guys like this guy's about at least 2 inches. I'll pull these guys out, isolate them, and work on making them pupate to beetles so that I can continue the cycle. Again, this is where I harvest from. This is not a lot of worms for the young chameleon I have, so trying to maximize output, which is why I have been moving those corrugated cardboard pieces from the beetle bin down to the nursery bin manually, so that I can maximize output and not risk the beetles eating any of the eggs or the little worms before they can hatch up. There's a tiny one right there. He's probably about a week old. And these other big guys are, that guy's probably 2 weeks old. And then they grow really fast. So these guys are couple of weeks old. The big guys here are probably about 6 weeks old. That's a big guy. I'll move him down there. That's how I have my stack set up. And if you have any questions,